They mocked his broken arm, until he took down 4 opponents with one hand. The gym echoed with cruel laughter. Eyes followed him as he stepped onto the mat, his right arm wrapped tightly in a sling, the faint outline of bone once broken still etched in his skin. They whispered that he didn't belong here, that a man with one working arm was no fighter. His opponents smirked openly, certain this would be a spectacle of failure, not a contest of strength. But behind his quiet gaze burned something they couldn't see, the memory of promises broken, of battles survived, and of a pain far deeper than any fracture. Before I tell you what happened next, tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I love knowing who's listening. The air felt thick with judgment. Dust shimmered in the sunlight streaming through high windows, swirling with each movement of the restless crowd. He flexed his left hand, the only weapon he had left, and heard his heart pound in steady rhythm, louder than the jeers. Doubt pressed against him, heavy as the sling on his arm, but he refused to bow his head. He had been underestimated before, and every time he had risen. The referee's call snapped the room into silence. His first opponent lunged recklessly, sure of an easy victory. But in a blur, the broken man pivoted, gripped the attacker's sleeve, and with a single motion of his left arm, sent him crashing to the mat. Gasps spread through the crowd, disbelief rippling like a wave. The whispers shifted. Could it be luck? Or was this man something else entirely? The second opponent approached more carefully, circling like a wolf. Sweat dripped down the back of the broken man's neck. Yet his mind was still. He thought of the nights in recovery, when doctors said he'd never fight again, when even holding a glass of water felt impossible. He thought of how many times he had been told to give up, and as the second man charged, he drew strength from those memories, parrying with one swift strike. Another body hit the ground. The crowd erupted, half in awe, half in shock. But his third challenger was merciless. Stronger, quicker. For a moment the broken man faltered, his feet slipping on the mat. Pain seared through his injured arm, as it shifted slightly in the sling. The room held its breath, sensing defeat. Yet something inside him refused to surrender. He steadied himself, let the man come close, then with calculated precision, used his opponent's momentum against him. The larger fighter fell with a thud that seemed to shake the entire gym. Silence. Then one final opponent stepped forward. The cruelest of them all, the one who had mocked the loudest, laughing at the sight of a man half-whole daring to stand among warriors. Their eyes locked, and for the first time, doubt flickered in the bully's gaze. The broken man felt his chest rise with calm determination. This was no longer about victory. It was about dignity, about proving that strength isn't measured in limbs, but in heart. The fight was fierce, brutal and desperate. Every strike tested his endurance. Every counterattack demanded courage. The crowd leaned forward, hearts racing, as the one-armed fighter endured blow after blow. Then, with one final surge of willpower, he twisted, gripped, and hurled his opponent to the ground, with the same single hand that had carried him through every trial. The hall exploded with thunderous applause. And yet, as he stood over the defeated men, he did not gloat. He did not mock in return. He extended his left hand, the same hand that had struck them down, and pulled his last opponent back to his feet. Murmurs hushed. Respect replaced ridicule. In that simple act, he proved something far greater than strength. He proved mercy. Because true power isn't in how many you can break, it's in how many you can lift back up, and sometimes the hand they laugh at is the one that changes everything. If this story moved you, share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that reveal the strength hidden in ordinary hearts.